G'day YouTube, my name's Lance. Welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report. We're getting a little bit of rain today. So it's the first time we've got a bit of rain and it's not all that hot. I have been out sweating, buggering around, but that's alright. Hey, do me bloody good. And but normally over the summer break here, when it rained, it was just steamy and hot as buggery. But today it's low 20s with a little bit of rain. It says between 15 and 45 millimetres of rain coming our way, but yeah, there's been jack shit yet, but there's a couple of showers, so well, let's live in hope, see how we go, and hopefully we get a little bit of runoff, you know, not the light rain. The light rain's good, it helps, but a little bit of runoff would be great, just to help fill the dams up a little bit. So we're hoping, well, my missus, she says, she reckons it's a full moon, and they're talking about a cyclone forming up off the coast, and she says, oh, you might think I'm silly, she says, but a lot of that stuff happens at a full moon. And I said, yeah, well, probably right. So we'll see. We'll see what we get up to. This last weekend I went away to a tractor show at Milbong, and now for those who don't know where Milbong is, and if you live on the other side of the earth, from where Bundaberg is, like we have Bundaberg, the pointy bit on Australia, we have, you'll see the Fraser Island sticking out there. Well, you'll see Brisbane, then Ipswich is like a satellite city of Brisbane. It's down there, so it's about 6 hours drive. I think my GPS said it was 550 kilometres, which is yeah, look, a good 6 hours drive. And so I put the little grey and gold on the trailer and packed up and shot off. And it was one of those things, I had it on the calendar to go to this year. There's shows I would like to get to this year, and I'm going to make an effort to go to some of the ones I've heard good things about. So I've got friends, Pete and Renee and Jono and all these other fellas that are in the club down there that I've known. I've been on tractor treks with Pete and Renee, and the other people like Jono and some of those have been our customers, and we've chatted and all that. So I took the opportunity to chuck the gold tractor on the trailer and head down to Milbong and go down for the weekend. Now, Milbong's not a town, it's an area, it looks to be, and it was an old sports ground that the club leases, so look, it was a good thing. I've taken a little bit of footage of bits and pieces. I didn't do the walk up and down the run this time. I just sort of took a couple of highlights, and mainly because I was chatting, having a bit of a yarn, and I had 15 people from the channel come and say hello and introduce themselves to me at the do, which that was great. Yeah, just people coming up and saying, oh, you know, you Bundy Bear? And I said, yeah, oh, I'm so and so, I watch your channel, I watch this and that. Oh, that was great. Yeah, it was good to say good day to people. And another thing that was good about the weekend away was we have down that area, it was a lot of small farms over the years, and we have a lot of customers down there. And oh, the amount of people I was talking to that said, oh, you know, we buy stuff off you, and oh, I've got this off you and that off you, and yeah, it was just good to put a face to people. And so we helped the club out a little bit, you know, gave them a few stubby coolers and stickers and bits and pieces. A toy tractor to auction off, and I bought another tractor while I was down there, but it was a bloody little toy one. It's just an auction to raise money for the club. I paid 140 bucks for it. It's probably worth 30 bucks. Doesn't matter a toss to me. It was just supporting the club. So we did have a good time, and it was good camping, and look, just meeting the people was great. Jude didn't go with me this time, where she often does, and it snuck up on us. I had it on the wall planner, and we were busy at work doing stuff, and I looked up on Thursday, I said, hey buddy, Milbong's on this weekend, and she said, what? She said, you going? And I said, oh bloody oath, I reckon I'm going. And she said, oh shit, not much notice, because normally, you know, Jude does the kids swimming on Fridays and all that sort of thing, and she says, oh, I haven't organised anything. She says, look, I might stay home. And I said, that's all right, I'm going. All right. And so I grabbed a bit of tucker, a carton of beer, and away I went. And so I opened the shop Friday, then about 9:30 I left and travelled down. And bloody GPSs, you know. I had the GPS on my phone sitting on the console, and I had it set so when I pulled up at Esk I could just hit the button and away we go. So I'm driving along and lovey on the dash, the GPS says turn right on such and such a road, and I'm thinking, okay, alright. And anyway, I just thought it'd just take me across the Warrego Highway, and the Warrego Highway is from Brisbane to Toowoomba, and it's 4 lanes, and it was bloody busy at 3 o'clock on the afternoon. No, 2:30, 2:45 it was busy. And so the GPS had this little shortcut it was going to send me on apparently. And well, you whizzed around this couple of roads and that was alright, but you come out at the Warrego Highway and what it wanted you to do was you had 2 lanes going this way, so you had to get across them into the centre island, but the centre island was about 1 car long and there was no way I was going to park there with my arse hanging out with a tractor on a trailer, and there's semis going past and it was just bloody busy getting onto it. And then you had to park up there and then wait for the next lot to clear and get across onto this track. And there was a bloke come along to cross it, and he had a tandem trailer on and he had to park parallel sort of thing to get everything in there before he could take off, and I thought, oh, up to that, I'm not doing that. So it's just bloody dangerous. So I thought, bugger it, I'll go with the flow of the traffic. So I jumped on the highway, and look, within 3 or 4 k's there was a road going to the left that gave us an overpass, and as it turned out, if I stayed on the main drag I would have went over that overpass, but GPS was going to send me a quieter road. So anyway, so I headed in, and I was in Ipswich at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when school's finishing, roads I didn't know, and here's Lance poking along with a bloody tractor on a trailer behind a bloody ute. And it was stop, start and stop and go ladies, and bloody I thought, oh, up this shit. I was glad to hop out, unload the tractor and have a snappy beer, I tell you. And I might have had more than one. And yeah, I thought, God, how did a bloke get in a pickle like this? So I said to Jude when I got home, I was telling her about it, and I came home that way yesterday because I sort of knew I could jump on that road and away we went, but it was still winding in and out and round about. And but on a Sunday morning, it's 7, 8 in the morning Sunday, there was no traffic hardly, and I had a nice clear run home. And but anyway, next time we're going next year. I said to Jude, you come too next year. We'll get ourselves better organised. And so I reckon I could go over the overpass and head up the Toowoomba Range and drop off to Milbong there. There'd be a better road to go on. So, but yeah, like I say, I put bugger all preparation into going away. And the night before we were pulling up, and I actually even had to buy a bit of bread on the way down because we didn't have any bread to take with us. So look, that was a great thing. Met some good people. You very rarely meet any bad people, do you? And there's a few little highlights. One of them was a little Fergie 35 that dropped a 302 Windsor in. And look, I've got some footage of that, and I asked him could I have a look at it and take some footage, and I had a chat to him and I said, you want to hop on camera and just tell us what you've done. And a lot of people say, oh no, and they piss off all frightened, but yeah, this fella, he had a yarn, and that's on the end of the stew. It's a great job. Jeff Parsons, a friend through the business and YouTube here, he's got a V8 in a Fergie, and so he'll find it interesting, I'm sure, just to have a bit of a look. There's Ken Nicholas, he does the John Deeres. He does a lot of vintage John Deere stuff around his area, and that would have been probably his home show, a close show to his area. So another fellow I talked to on Facebook, we message back and forth, have a bit of a chat from time to time. So I got to meet Ken finally, which was something good. But yeah, you get at these shows and sometimes you meet someone, say g'day, and you can have a really good old chin wag, and other times there's people coming and going wanting to chat and you don't get a real good yarn. But I didn't have a real good yarn with Ken, but it was good to catch up anyway and go from there. But look, it was what I needed. I was starting to get the shits and I just needed a bit of time away. And so I usually take down to these shows, I usually take a bottle of Bundy liqueur or a bit of pink gin. You know, only made in Bundaberg stuff, and I'll go down flying the flag and I'll have a bit of fun with it. And we're sitting there having a drink after the show on Saturday afternoon, and I got a bit of footage of it. John, he had a little game called disc bowls, I think it is, and it's a frisbee bowls. It's like a little frisbee. You chuck the jack up and you throw these little little frisbee little things at it. Great for a rough surface. So yeah, we drank beers and had a muck ass around with that and had a good time. And they put on a nice meal. The evening meal was good. Done in camp ovens, you know, style cooking, bush cooking, and it was nice, and had nice desserts and things like that. So look, it was a great weekend away. I feel a bit refreshed for going. Oh, you come home knackered though. Yeah. By the time you drive down and look, we didn't stay up late, you know. Just 9:30 one night and a bit after 9 the next sort of thing. So and yeah, by then you've had a dozen beers and a bloody few top ups with some whatever else. And yeah, look, it's a bit of good fun. So that was a good thing. Some of the tidbits from the weekend away are going to be tagged on the end of the stew here. I've also just done a little bit to camera on this little screw. This cap I made for this Sheebler DX320 for the Hart Parr. I made the cap, but I didn't have one to look at. I just saw a photo of one, and so I just made it up in my head. And so I'd worked out that the float wasn't lifting, you know, wasn't working. It wasn't dropping low enough to give a good fuel supply. So anyway, look, that's in the video. I've just done that. I've fixed up the camera mounts. I've changed them, so I've just taken a little bit of footage of that. And I changed the camera mounts because through the week, I don't know, I might have had these last week. I can't remember what I had and what I bloody haven't done. But I've got the backing plates, and I've got the 6-jaw chuck and the 4-jaw chuck for the lathe. I'm going to probably pop the 6-jaw apart and just deburr it and do a Stefan type fix on that. Just check it out. And the 6-jaw didn't come with an instruction, but the 4-jaw did. And so on the 4-jaw, I've just been running through the measurements on the back of the chuck for the backing plate, and it looks like if I do 2 backing plates exactly the same, it'll work fine. So I probably won't get that filmed this week, but I was just getting the camera set up for different views, and on the milling machine, you'll see up there, I've done a bit of a handheld shaky shit video, but have a bit of a look. And what it's done for me is, instead of the camera being over on an angle and shooting back towards me on the lathe, it'll actually shoot straight down the barrel, or from my side a bit on what I see. And well, it may be good. I think it'll be a good thing. It just extends the range of the camera in my little machine shop here. And the adapters I've made, I have another set of holes drilled in the shipping container door, so I can shoot the mill at less of an angle, you know, come across a bit further. So, but look, I've done a shaky old video of that where I drop shit and all that. Yeah, just usual. And yeah, it'll just be just something a little bit different for the content. So look, thanks for dropping by again. Do the like, subscribe bit, and watch ads and all that for me. And yeah, we'll catch up next week. Have a bit of a look what I got tagged on the end here. I reckon some of you might find it interesting. Catch you next week, eh? See ya.
Yeah, I don't mind a little bit longer. See what they have in there.
A little bit longer, doesn't look too bad. So. Grow it anyway. We couldn't bolt the front engine, so we had to move it all out a little bit.
Oh, look at this. Little V8 tucked in a 35. These are two buggers that did it. Have their name in lights. Look at that. Beautiful. Gonna give her a hit.
I would have said not a hope in hell.
There you go, how good's that? Okay, these are the fellas that did it. They're going to tell us a little bit about it. How'd you go with it?
Darren and my son come home from up around the corner where they had a tractor pull. They had all these V8s and these little tractors. He said, Dad, can we put a V8 in one of your tractors? I said, well, I've got that old 35 down the back of the shed. He said, you can have that. Well, that started off. So we pulled it off. So I had to make an adapter plate.
Yeah.
I made an adapter plate, then we had to get a new flywheel. So I had to make a chassis because the old ones, they used the motors as their chassis.
Yeah.
So I had to make the chassis up to this one. And then we got the motor, put it in and fit it beautifully. And that's about where it went to from there.
Nice,
Really
eh?
enjoyed making it though.
Oh, you've done a nice job. There, Jeff Parsons. Have a look at that.
Coming off the tires here. Well, they couldn't, they should have. In these tractor games, we have chain put out to see who can back them back and keep straight in a line until the chain runs out. And the tractor pull will be done.
Well, look at this. I just came across this nice little Fergie 135. See, they've done a lovely job.
Well, that hot stuff.
Look at that bonnet, straight as straight.
Versatile. If I remember right, even when I was here,
I can get mine half that good, I'll be pleased. We've got the Sparrex engine oil filter and the fuel filters on it. The Uber style muffler.
I don't know what sort of rod he's up to here.
Then on the back here, he's got a Massey Ferguson finishing mower. So that's a nice little setup. Nice little setup, well done. Look at the shine, just beautiful.
I just asked the driver here how much weight he had on me last. Oh no. This is 12 tons of machine and I think he gave it, a bit more while leaving the brakes on. Well, slow me down, we've got a little low at minute.
A nice little 2120.
Marvellous strength of a little tractor.
It's got a downswept exhaust.
There's a bit of rubber on one tire.
Yeah, nice job.
I local fella.
Okay, here's Jono's little industrial. Jono Johnson, have your name in lights, mate.
Of course, the object of this little trip here is
He was just showing me yesterday with the tyres, they're the original tyres, and they've got the code here, Brisbane City Council, and that's the plant number on the tyres. So something a little bit different. Looks good, John.
Oh, well, wouldn't you have the brakes off?
Okay, have a look at this. This is what we're doing after the show. It's called disc bowls, and we're having a bit of fun with it. 10 or 20 quiet beers, and we're having a bit of a fun with it. Oh, look at that, yellow.
Yellow's in front. Blue is
Blue.
behind.
Oh, shit shot that one.
Yellow's out.
Oh, no, yellow still.
Still yellow.
Look at that.
Just run them away, yeah, young fella.
There we go. Yellow's the winner still. Yeah.
Whoa.
Completely out of bounds.
Yellow still got it.
Keep going. The grand championship. Keep going.
Oh, look at that. Blues, the winner. Steve from Billawheeler. He's the winner. We got Jono here. He's got the official tape measure.
Blue has it.
Oh, okay, Blue's the winner. Yeah.
Blue's the winner.
I'll try and keep Jono in the frame here.
Still blue. Steve, you're slipping, mate.
No, he's stacking the back up and he's going to build the ball back.
Sombrero. I like a blue one.
I like this one.
Oh, close.
You're not mucking around, Pete. You're taking a few hacks.
Oh, awesome.
Jono's the winner. The champion. Go, Jono.
No, that's the one.
Purple one's mine.
Now, I'm from Bundy and I'm starting to worry about this lot a little bit. Look at that funny hats. I reckon chuck them over the border. Sooner we build the wall, the better. Get all these Mexicans down south, I reckon.
Ready? They do. Under the end there, that's Greek.
You want us to show you the sombrero dance?
Yes. Is there a better one? Is there a better one we know?
Bundy rum. Bundy rum. They haven't even had one yet. I don't know what they're going to be like when they do.
Above my lathe here, I've had a little peg here, and look, it's one of these pegs that was on a Bearco PDO stand, and it got flooded one time. So in my little shipping container workshop here, I've drilled through the wall on my shipping container. I've put a lock nut in behind, and I've got a peg there. And to film on the lathe, I've just got a gimbal set up there, and I can set that however I choose, and just with a bit of box section, and I can lock that nut up and hold it wherever I like. And then I also have the rotation and the jiggle around bit when I undo it properly, Lance. There you go. There's the jiggle around bit. Everyone likes a jiggle. So what I've done today is when you line that up with the spindle's here, and the end of that would be 8 or 10 inches in closer to the wall. And I've also got these over on the wall here. This is the shipping container doors, and that's my little milling machine over there. So what I've done today, I've actually taken these out and I've drilled them, and I've tapped them to the 1/2 UNC thread, then what that does for us is, if I'd like to extend this over the lathe now, I can actually just screw that in, and that gets me almost in line with the chuck. And if I wanted another angle, keeping you in frame be a bloody good job, Lance, wouldn't it? And so if I wanted the other angle, I'll just pick that up. Oh, so if I wanted another angle on the lathe, I've made an adapter here, so that can screw in, and then this one, it can go on the end, and when they're all tightened up, you can see now that that comes way out past the chuck, so that gives me look, just another angle, so save shooting at the same angle all the time. Now when we were up at the milling machine here, that was the view we had of the mill, and I used to zoom in from there, which is okay. And there's another bracket down the bottom, so I'll come out, there's another one down lower, and that gave us back in the day an angle like that. So with this little modular system, we'll come around again. You'll all be bloody seasick by I finish this. So when I take this and say screw it into this one here, well, that brings me way closer to the mill, and it gives us a chance to look down, and we're out of the harm of chips and things like that hitting the camera. But with the new lights in the container here, the LEDs, that's given us pretty good light, and that'll also give us a close-up of down here lower if we want to. So there you go. I've just been having a bit of a fiddle this morning, and those are look, it's a job I've had on the go, well, in my head for ages. And sometimes when they're not in use, particularly the one over the lathe here, even if it is in use, I keep some bushes for the TE20 Fergie 35 front axles, and I keep little samples of things that I need, you know, just to make a bush for the PDOs and things like that. So there you go, that's one little job done. I didn't film any of that, you've seen that 100 times. Well, this is a Hart Parr carby, and when we look down here, I've actually replaced the screw that we had to grind the top off here to get the float out, and I've replaced it and done the nut at the back with a M3 by 0.5, and that's a stainless steel panhead Allen headed screw, so we can come in with an Allen key. But when we look at this little nut that I made, I've never had one to go by, I've just sort of had a look at a photo, and you can see when the float's right down, this little tit here, this little piece in the middle there, that's actually the needle, and that has to sit down, and that's sitting right down there now, and when it comes up it has to have clearance up in under the cap. And I've never had one to make, or to look at to make one, so when we look at the level there, if we run a ruler straight across that surface, that sticks up about 2 mil. Now on the nut that I've made, the surface is here, and this little button here, it would be a good 2 mil down below that surface. So to get this to work, if you keep an eye on the float, you'll actually see the first part, when I turn it down, it's just coming to give clearance from the side of the thread here, from the wall, so it gives clearance from this nut. But then once I screw it down further, you'll see the float coming up, and that float's level about there. So even though the float can come a little bit further, what that's doing, that's not opening the fuel supply very well. So what we're going to do is on our new camera mounts that we've just finished, we're just going to set this up in an ER of actually a 5C collet. We're just going to grab it around here, and we're going to take this in a little bit deeper so that when this nut screws down in, the needle won't go down so far, and that'll give it a good supply. It's a 4-cylinder engine, so it's got to have a fair bit of juice coming through. So we'll go and set that up, eh? Okay, we're over at the lathe here, and we've got the 5C collet chuck set up ready to go. We've got the new camera mount working, and you can see all the shit down here now, so doesn't matter a toss. Okay, if we measure the cap in the centre here and come down, we got 5.04 mil, and if we measure to the top of the thread back down, we have 7.2. So I think from when we touch off, we've got to try and go around 3 mil deeper. We may not go the full width out because the screw was wasted in here under the head a little bit, so we might try and go a little bit narrower in the middle there. So we'll just start off by setting it up in the 5C chuck here if we can, and the chuck should sit on that knurl nicely. Now to just make sure we're sort of pretty close to true. I'll have to run that on the end here, I think. So I'll just firm it up just a little bit. Now I've got the lathe running on, I think 78 RPM. Right, so it's a little ball there, the little ball bearing. That's truded up in there for us, so if we don't move it, we can just nip the collet down. Get rid of that now. I think what I did originally, I just had a tiny little boring bar poking up in the hole there, and which is sort of set up in through there. I might, for this instance, I might just grab an end mill and pop in the chuck, and from when I touch off, we'll just go down in a little bit. Where this hole, the hole that we have in there at the moment, on this old Hart Parr, is 13 mil. So if I drop back, where's my miles an hour? 5.524. So perhaps a 1/2 inch end mill would go down that far without hopping into a breakaway here. We'll go and get something organised and we'll come back. Right, I've got a 1/2 inch end mill sitting in there, and now when I measure the outside, I've just gone and turned it off. A little bit of rubbish on that jaw. So when I measure the outside, we've got 642 thou. So by dropping a 1/2 inch end mill down there, you know, we'll have 120 thou, so we'll have about 60 thou a side, and it's just a screwing with your fingers, so that's okay. So we'll just go in gently with this. As soon as it bottoms out here, I'll take a reading just on the tailstock, on the metric side of the tailstock here. Can't use the imperial one. And if we have a look there now, I can probably back the tailstock off until I just hit the 40 mil mark, So the 40 mil is just a reference on the tail tailstock here. So I know now by having that just touching and letting this run back, when I get to 43, that should be enough. We'll pop it out and give it a test. So I'll back him off a little bit. Okay, now I'll give that a bit of a blow out. Look, that's looking pretty good. I wouldn't mind shortening this thread slightly. That's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, nearly 5 threads deep. It's just a little inspection cover, so I might pop a little bit off there. And I'll just chamfer that slightly while we're going. Give it a bit of a lead in. Now if we take the end mill out of the chuck, take this out of the way, get this out of the way, and we'll just deburr the hole slightly. That's quite a bit more than slightly, but when I was doing it I thought that would be nice to give it a bit of extra room under there. Okay, let's take it over and see if we've made it any better. Okay, you can see I'm using the backing plate, the chuck adapter, or the backing plate that I haven't got to do yet, and this is part of the reason why I changed the camera mount, so we can get over and have a bit of a look at that. But it holds the carby up nicely for filming. So, but what we need to do is just run the 3-cornered file around the thread and just tidy it up, because when it was longer it used to screw in, so we've obviously got a slight little burr on there with our machining. And it has to be at the bottom end, because at the top end we didn't do anything. Okay, let's see what we got. That's it. Right down. So, I've got dropsy today. So yeah, by the time we pop that screw right down, you can see the float's a lot lower now, and the float has a lot of movement, so I have that much movement now. So when the float comes up to, it's not hitting in the housing here, so that's shutting the fuel level off, but when it's down and that needle is now open as far as it can be. So that'll give a better fuel control, or better amount of fuel coming in. So it gives the opportunity to keep the bowl full. And when we screw that in, that's going all the way, no worries. You can see it just touches. You can see that flow just as we start to bottom out. You can just see a little bit of movement. I'm happy with that. While I'm here, I'll just tidy up the edge of that slot I machined. Okay, that's another little part of the Hart Parr done. Coming up in some of the other filming is the butterfly that I made for it, and the butterfly shaft, but we still have to do the block, and then we're about done. So yeah, I filmed a lot of this stuff, so how much we get in each stew or how much we get into the whole video, who knows, but we'll have a bit of a go.